Hey, everybody, it's Keith Thornton. Welcome back to Trades Secrets, the official podcast of Trades Education Center. And for our first episode for 2025, we have two very special guests with us today. And so I'm going to let, I would introduce them, but I might get their titles wrong because they're that good. They're that important. So I'm going to let the gentleman next to me to my left, I'm going to let him introduce himself, and then we'll go to the next gentleman.
Well, thank you for having me on. I'm Power. I work for the Georgia Department of Economic Development as a region project manager. I don't work in Atlanta. I cover 12 counties in the Athens region, and so I work strictly from this area. So I don't have to go into Atlanta. So that's what I do. I cover, help with existing industry and make sure that we can give information to them that can help them decide, if they're going to create new investment through the year, create new jobs, things like that. And so giving that information to them and making sure that they have it and they know what they're eligible for.
Awesome. All right. I'm going to come back to that after that's good. All right. Go for it.
Hi, I'm Jeremiah Outwater. I am a new hire for Little Red Acorn. We are a fundraiser for scholarships and award scholarships to anybody that's leaving high school or in high school or about to leave high school, or any career changes, or any of the military veterans that want to get into the trades. And so what I'd really like to do as an organization, we want to give you money to go get your journeyman's certificates, all of those things to get you into the trades as quick as possible. And for Little Red Acorn, I have to read this. I'm sorry. It's a long title. So for Little Red Acorn, I am the Chief Business Management and Development Officer. I'm still not sure what all that means, but
you nailed it.
It's mostly talking to good people, developing a good teams and partners with Little Red Acorn that we can help impact the community.
Awesome. I personally am very excited to have these two gentlemen on because I know them both professionally and personally. They're great guys to have with us. They actually have their own podcast, which is listened to by thousands.
I like it.
Right?
Either that or my 1,000 download a day.
Yeah. So it's estimated around 35,000 for 2024. And hopefully this year with some extra shows that we're trying to line up with, again, good people in the community that do amazing things. It's called Southern Holler. And we do that out of the Empower Power Center with Northeast Georgia Business Radio X with Tom Sheldon, a production company.
Nicely done. You nailed it.
Yeah, you're starting to get remnants from what we recorded earlier.
Yeah, so we today was recording day, so I sound a little extra professional today.
You get usually good at it and starts repeating here in a minute. You know why.
Yeah, we usually have to we clown around a little bit, and then we try to be a little bit professional.
Well, it's real hard because we're coming on, and this is going to be a serious discussion of business matters, and ours is business matters as well, but that we discuss, but it's not as serious, so I have to kind of change and be serious.
No, not a bit. That's it.
No, we just like having.
I can act a fool if you.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah, we
get you more views. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we're only mostly professional.
Only mostly.
Well, no, it's like Keith said. It's like professionally we're good partners, and then just personally we're good friends, and
absolutely
the things we do around here is
absolutely.
Well, we actually can't talk about everything we do.
That's right.
I like to think that the reason we're friends is the reason why he hasn't killed me yet. So
no, that's true.
Because every day I think, I'm sure I've gotten on his nerves today somehow. I don't know how I haven't.
No, you're good, Acorn. See what I did there?
Nice.
Little Red Acorn.
Nice. I like it. So, well, if you guys haven't picked up on it yet, why I would have these guys here as it relates to trade secrets, they are both intimately involved with the trades and the workforce. Power, in your role with the state, why is it important for businesses to have that connection to the state of Georgia?
It's very important to have that connection because, the industry as a whole, if you look at workforce development as a whole, industries are going to need to have a deep connection with the state because as we go forward, there's a presentation that Chris Clark does with the Georgia Chamber of Commerce that's very impactful when you look at it. I've heard it about 4 times now. in 2 different years, and it's great. I mean, you think it gets stale, but it really doesn't. And so, when you go to look at the numbers and you look at the number of jobs that we have open in trades, in other industries like nursing, even manufacturing, line work, things like that, it's staggering. And that compared with the number of people that can work, but for some other reason are not involved in the workforce. And so, it's important that the industry, different industries in this state are working closely with the state, is because the state has enabled certain programs to help with that workforce. Workforce is definitely something that we're working on, that the state is working on, to try and increase that to where we are exposing people to different areas and different jobs, whether it be manufacturing, trades, anything like that. So it's very important that they keep in tune with the state, specifically the technical college system. The technical college system is going to be huge over the next couple of years about getting folks that don't feel comfortable going to a 4-year college, giving them an option to go to where it's not as stressful for them, and it allows them to get into the workforce quicker.
Absolutely. I think that's the thing that I've learned over the last 3 years in getting this trade school open is the amount of resources across our state with the technical college system, with WorkSource Georgia. There are so many, at least in my opinion, untapped resources that people, for whatever reason, they just don't even realize the help that is out there to get into something. And there's a lot of work being done and has been done to make access or accessibility into a lot of positions through the technical schools. They've paved the way.
Absolutely. And we're seeing that they've paved the way, and not a lot of people, and it goes on, and it's not a dig or anything like that. It's just with the educational system we have now, we get into certain swings where we're comfortable. This is what we've always talked about. This is what we're going to continue to talk about. And so as our system is set up right now, is kids are taught that you need to go to college. 4-year degree is where it needs to be. You need to get a master's, doctorate, whatever. That's not always the case. And so what you are seeing now, thankfully, is this switch back to those non-normal routes now. I think they would be considered your non-normal route, when college used to be the non-normal route. It is reverted back. And so it's starting to revert back. And you even have, I know y'all are more on the trade side, but I've seen this on the big industry side with large manufacturers, because that's mostly who I deal with, is manufacturers.
Sure.
They have enabled opportunities for kids, I say kids, young adults up in age, to have opportunities at their facilities where you don't have to have a college degree, where the background that you have, the experience that you have counts the same or even more than that college degree. And I've seen that played out many times, and they've been successful with that. And they've had to adapt to that, because you're going to see more and more kids and young adults getting into the workforce that don't have college degrees because they just couldn't handle college. And that's okay. I think there's
nothing wrong with it.
You have to break through. It's just this uncomfortable stigma you have to break through, that, if college is not for you, that doesn't mean you're a failure.
No.
That doesn't mean you're a failure. It's just not the right track for you. But hey, there are right tracks. And now, seriously, if you look over in the trades, there's a positive and negative, I think, to the numbers that we see with the trades now, with low numbers and things like that. The negative is we don't have that many plumbers. We don't have that many HVAC workers. We don't have that many,
electricians,
application repair people. We don't have that many. But at the same time, a positive of that is if you're an 18-year-old getting out of high school and you decide that you want to become a certified plumber, electrician, The beauty in that is you can be making more than an attorney. In fact, you're going to be able to charge.
That's true.
When you go out to the house of a very successful attorney and you have to fix their wiring in their garage door or something like that, you're going to get to charge them more than they would charge one of their clients.
Yeah.
And so that's the beauty of it. So
Yeah.
you're making more money than you would, and at a quicker rate too.
Yeah.
So that some kids and this is no dig at them either, because that's what they're comfortable at when they're going to college. They're getting that 4-year degree. You're just going to be making more money faster, and you're going to be in the workforce faster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's we're in that transition period right now.
And I've seen the relationship that companies have made with the state of Georgia with people like yourself, and then transitioning that to working on partnerships with the technical schools. I went to visit David Butler up in Commerce, and runs the adult literacy or adult GED program up there. And when I got to their office, I noticed signs that one of the local big companies was having people come there for training.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that's the partnership we're talking about, where companies have worked with the state, and then now they're working with the technical colleges to train their people, to give them more skills, more abilities.
Absolutely. And that's a project, it's a program that's not really talked about much. That's, you see a lot of times Quick Start Georgia. Quick Start Georgia, some companies are eligible for Quick Start Georgia where for a period of time, the state of Georgia through the technical college system will train. I went through that training myself. When I worked in my past employer, I went through Quick Start training. And it's for a certain period of time you'll train with Quick Start. Quick Start will train your employees, and then after several years, the curriculum that they developed and everything that they have done for you then gets turned over to you.
Wow.
And so it gives you that. So yes, the state of Georgia has really done a lot, but you have also seen a lot of technical colleges take their pen and go out and they want to work with these manufacturers. I really believe it. Here Lanier Tech, they are very in tune with the companies around them. Athens Tech out in Clark County is very in tune with what they have around them. Meisner out in Clark County is going to have a big effect on that. And so I think Meisner, which is I think going to probably be it's going to be one of the bigger employers in Clark County. I'm not sure if it's the biggest. It would be one of the bigger, but that's going to be a good partnership if depending on how that goes. And then I'll tell you, another one that I'm fairly familiar with is Central Georgia Technical College.
Okay.
They have a lot of good manufacturers in that area that they work with. Same with Chattahoochee Tech. Chattahoochee Tech is going to have a great opportunity when Hyundai gets done with their manufacturing facility. Hyundai SK gets done with their manufacturing facility in Bartow County. That's going to be a big factor for them. And that's another thing. So, for workforce development, a lot of kids who have engineering mindsets, they're very good. They could be exceptional engineers. They just can't make it through the 4-year process, or they can't afford the 4-year process. They're going to be, I believe, there'll be technical schools, and there's some technical schools that do offer it as a certification or associate degree in some type of field of engineering, and so that's going to be a big, especially. So you're going to see that continue, and really you're going to see a lot of projects continue to be developed with the technical college system, and so I'm that's going to be big on the horizon.
Well, and with that, every big facility that gets built here in the state of Georgia, they're going to need every other trade to be there to maintain, service, and update, and do all that. So, which, speaking of the other trades, that's where Jeremiah comes in with Little Red Acorn.
Yeah. So I'm kind of, I'm listening to Power Talk and talking about opportunities for people in the trades. Take a little bit different path to life. That's where I've been. I for 24 or something years, I was in the trades. I still consider myself a sign guy. I've been doing it for so long. But I just left that career to get into this career to talk about that path. So you can get into a trade. You can't raise a family. You can buy your houses. You can do all of that and experience a full life just by doing that. And so I have what you call some college, university. So I went to some college here and there. But it's for me, that's how it worked out. And I have no regrets from that. I'm able to talk to everyday people and just start explaining into the recruitment, into the trades. It's like, listen, you can go work at the box stores, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I did that. You can go work in the grocery store. Again, I'm just naming my history. I'm not naming anything else. I've done a little of everything, and that's fine. But I could tell you, if somebody like myself introduced me to a younger me and say, hey, you don't mind working hard? No. Do you have a lot of college? Not yet. Do you want a lot of college? I don't know. But do you want to go make $25 to $32 to on-ramping into a career? And even if you try it for 2, 4, 5, 10 years, would you want to do that? Yes. Every day of the week. And so my role is to help kind of cut down on friction on cost. So while Little Red Acorn is still newish, our funds are building up. That's part of what I do is building up partnerships with businesses to help invest into the future. My whole goal is to raise funds to give money away for scholarships, for certifications, to go work at the warehouses, for people to have overlap between welding and plumbing and HVAC. If you just want to be a one-lane guy, you can do that. Mm-hmm. If you want to start a business into plumbing, that's fine. Or anything else, but anything to just get you started. I think that's kind of been my role. My other role is connecting people that make sense to each other. So whether it's with government or education, and then in my background, small and medium-sized businesses. So one of the things that I'm working on, we haven't quite announced it yet, but we're working on a partnership with kind of our own little economy and giving back to the community called The Grove. We'll get into that one day. But it's just developing partners that we want to buy from them. And by the way, a lot of those guys are tradespeople. A lot of them will be tradespeople or they service the trades.
Yep.
I think that's another thing is there's several guys we're talking to aren't in the trades, but they service trades.
Trades adjacent.
Whether that can be anything, financial, banking, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Anything that we can just support the trades. And I kind of laugh at my last job. I was still the youngest guy there. And when you're 45 and you look behind you, I don't see a lot of 20-year-olds.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
And that's everywhere. Yeah. So it's just, I think just trying to impact our community the best way we can. I think we can do that here. And then I think if we do it right and it's something that can be reproduced, you can start affecting regionally.
Yeah.
And then out of state and things like that. In the next several weeks, I'm going to have conversations with people out of South Carolina. Yeah. I get calls for that now. And it's like, I didn't plan for that because everybody's affecting that.
Yeah.
Everybody has that same effect.
Yeah.
Looking for recruiters, looking for people, how to talk about this, how to move the ball forward.
Well, it's funny. I go back to what, I've heard Mike Rowe say this a bunch, on his podcast, and he's been tooting that horn for almost 2 decades about the trades. And
right.
The funny thing he keeps saying is the trades are never going to be at the forefront of what needs to be fixed in our society until the people that matter have to call a plumber and they're told you've got to wait for 2 weeks.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's funny. I follow a guy on LinkedIn who is he's a trades advocate. He has his own tool business. He posted this week, had a faucet kitchen sink go kaflooey on him after the freeze.
Sure. Yeah.
Called his favorite plumber and he said, dude, 2 weeks, man.
Yeah.
He's like, are you like for real? He's like, yeah. And so he made a post about it. He's like, well, I keep saying this. It's for real. And it's going to be, expensive when he does come out.
It's not a made up, it's not a made up number. Well, and that's kind of the idea that we were pushing about, I like podcasts and talking and things like that. That's kind of my job. And one of the ideas is to cover that, is to talk to a lot of different people in the trades. It's like you're not first on the list, but when you're in trouble, who do you call? And by the way, when your wife is cold during the middle of the winter and your HVAC goes out,
absolutely,
you will pay anything to warm that house back up. I have 2 ladies that live in my house. Let me tell you.
For me, it's when the air conditioning goes out.
Well,
Amen, brother.
Well, I'm always
a little bit ornery.
I always complain it's always hot, but for them that's more like real life.
That's when you call Little Caesars and ask to go into the walk-in chiller.
That's the truth. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I really appreciate being able to have y'all on and kind of help people understand that there is just such a huge connection between government, between education, and the trades that I think we're starting to see that coalesce a little bit.
Well, you're starting to get more aware of it. People are starting to get more aware.
I was about to say that's what I meant. I feel like it's coming out from behind the curtain finally, because it's been there. Y'all have been doing this for. The team that I'm on has been around for a very long time, and we focus more on existing industry. Sure.
When it comes to making sure, but part of that and what we do is some of the incentives that the state offers on tax incentives does go to incentivize job creation, and so we do focus on that and do work on that. I think I think all facets from y'all here at Trades Education to Little Red Acorn to the state government, all the way up to, I think, the federal government. I think it's starting to wake up to where, hey, we need to start working more
hand in hand,
because we're going to really have an issue one day when the only plumber we have, it's going to be worse than 2 weeks. It's going to be the only plumber in Atlanta, and I live in Bainbridge down at the Florida state line. And so that's going to be that.
And as we have more catastrophic failures of municipal systems, I mean, the
natural disasters.
The issues out in California just happened. There are issues in Atlanta with water, or DeKalb County and Fulton. I mean, there are issues, and it's we're paying the price.
Yeah,
so
100%.
But that's okay because we're all working together to fix it.
Yeah, to try to fill that gap. Absolutely. Well, and I'll give one more plug to Little Red Acorn. We are a 501(c)(3).
Yes.
And we're always looking for donations.
Yes.
Let me say that clearly. And that affects the Trades Education Center, but my position is not just to help TEC, but it's actually helping all the technical colleges that Power just named. It's like at some point I want to introduce myself to them.
Yeah.
I say, hey, what are you guys doing? I don't have enough money to cover everybody. How can I help?
Yeah.
And by the way, being a nonprofit, I'm able to talk to this guy and that guy, and there's no competition. Yeah. I'm literally trying to connect the room. That's all this is.
Yeah. And I think that's what I'm really enjoying about all the conversations that, we've been a part of over the past year. It's been amazing to see how many of our worlds are colliding.
Yeah. Absolutely. We see a lot more of each other. I mean, we already hung out
whether we like it or not.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty good.
Now our professional lives are definitely crossing over a lot more.
Right.
All good things.
Yeah. Well, again, Jeremiah, Power, I appreciate both of y'all being here. Folks, please, if you should, especially if you're in the state, actually, if you're outside the state,
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Wherever you are listening to this and you need to know how government works with companies and how they bring them in and help them, it's the Georgia Department of Economic Development. That's the organization in the state that Power works for. There's inside of that, there's the Quick Start program. Inside of that, there's the Small Business Initiative. There's big
tourism.
There's tourism,
film industry, everything you think about as far as tourism, film. So the film industry. We cover that as well. So the Georgia Department of Economic Development's mission to grow Georgia and keep it to be the number one state to do business.
Yeah, and it really is a great model. Yeah, it really is a great model.
Yeah. So again, Georgia Department of Economic Development, great website, by the way.
Thank you.
I like the free magazine.
I
always get the magazine, the tourism magazine every year, just so I can look what's new and stuff. But go Georgia, and actually watch your next movie. It'll probably be at the bottom of the credits.
It is usually is.
And again, Jeremiah with Little Red Acorn. Folks, if you are looking to invest in the next generation of skilled trades people locally across the state, hopefully across the region. LittleRedAcorn.com. Go check it out. I can't remember. Georgia.gov.
Yeah, Georgia.gov. Or you can just type in Georgia Department of Economic Development. It'll take you to the website.
Yep, the GDECD.
GDECD.
Oh, wow.
There
That was
you go.
good. That's that education talking over there. I couldn't have pulled that off.
Look out.
Smooth with a V.
A lot of education on that side of the table.
Hey, look, it's all different kinds of education.
That's right.
all it is.
Absolutely.
Well, folks, thank y'all so much for tuning in to Trade Secrets, the official podcast of Trades Education Center. And again, thank you to Jeremiah and Power. Y'all have a great one, and we'll talk to you guys soon.